welcome to another edition of Nigeria's Performance Forum. My name is Ashaluga Femi. Of course, I will be doing this on the solo flight today because James Agberebe is somewhere snooping around to find out the number of players who have arrived at the camp of the Black Stars of Ghana and, of course, that of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Both teams have the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers on Thursday. The Super Eagles will be taking on Guinea-Bissau, while the Black Stars of Ghana will first be entertaining Angola at the Bayara Sports Stadium. But before I get into the program, I'd like to apologize for the first part in our last edition, which we said that Grassroots wasn't at the burial of Christian Archer. Of course, he was there. There was actually a report online that actually said that he might likely not be at the burial because he was still trying to ramp up things at his own father's burial in the United Kingdom. So I believe that actually led us. So we're tendering an unreserved apology for that. So of course, going forward, of course, we'll do a lot more to fact check things. Okay, let's get started. So much to talk about. Like I said, I'll be doing in it on a solo basis today, and of course, with all of you joining us around the world. Thank you for keeping faith with Nigeria's Performance Forum. So much grateful we are to you. Okay, let's get started. Of course, Grassroots that was unveiled today in Kumasi ahead of Ghana's double header against Angola. And quickly, we'll be taking some talking points from that unveiling. And first of all, he said he was very proud to be the head coach of the Blasters. Of course, remember what panned out when Otto Addo was appointed the last time for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, because there were reports that some actually wanted Grassroots to take charge of the Black Stars, but at least finally is now in charge of the Black Stars, and he's vowed to give his best to take the Black Stars to the next level. But some of the during the question and answer from journalists, he actually solicited the support of the GFA, and particularly a journalist asked him why he took the job of Otto Addo, why he decided to replace Otto Addo, and he categorically said the GFA approached him and they asked him if he wanted to be the new Black Stars coach, and he said he didn't hesitate. And of course, he was also asked why he thinks he's fit for the job, and he said he was an assistant coach for 14 years before he became the head coach. And he said he's also coached 3 teams in the English Premier League, so he has enough robust credential to be the coach of the Black Stars. And but one thing that might not sit well with a lot of Ghanaians was the fact that he said he would not guarantee trophies. Yeah, he actually said that, and I quote, he said, "I cannot guarantee a trophy." He said, "No coach can guarantee a trophy. No coach can sit at the table like this and guarantee you that. No single coach can do that." And of course, he said it's going to start, particularly for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations that will be hosted in Cote d'Ivoire. He said it's going to start with the qualifiers, and after the qualifiers, then we'll get on to see how things pan out for the Black Stars of Ghana. But the Black Stars of Ghana, of course, as far as I'm concerned, of course, I know as far as a lot of you are concerned out there, I think they have sufficient arsenal to win the next Africa Cup of Nations, because at the moment, I saw a stat online that says that 85% of the current Ghana population have never seen the Black Stars win something. Yeah, they have never seen witness the Black Stars win something. And the last time the Black Stars won something was in Tripoli 41 years ago. Tripoli 41 years ago, when the Black Stars lifted their 4th and the last AFCON title. So 2023 will provide another opportunity for the Black Stars. But still talking about Ghana football, of course, Christian Archer has finally been laid to rest. But we hope that his absence now will not make more children orphaned in Ghana. And of course, many more inmates with less hope. We hope that someone will be brave enough to take over his legacy and maybe continue where he has stopped. I think it will be something that will make Archer to continue to smile in heaven if someone can actually take that up. Okay, let's go to the CAF Confederation Cup and the CAF Champions League. Over the weekend, lots of matches were played. The 5th round of games in both Africa Club competitions were played. I quickly will give you the result. In the CAF Confederation Cup, Rivers United, Nigeria's only survivor being representative in CAF club competition for this season, survived a scare. Yeah, they survived a scare right here in Nigeria, but they are through to the last 8. But they need to play their last game to know who will be topping the team. So quickly, let's give you the result. We have Motema PMB in the same group as Rivers United. They lost 2-1 to ASEC. Yeah, 2-1 playing at home. They lost ASEC. Asfa defeated Pyramids 1-0. Then Alagda defeated Gallant for 1. Then we have Rivers United, like I told you, they played 2-2 with W Noah right here in Nigeria. And of course, we have Future defeated ASCO 3-0. We have Red Bamako defeated TP Mazembe 2-1. Remember, James and I, in one of our editions, we talked about TP Mazembe playing in the CAF Confederation Cup. If you ask me, I think TP Mazembe and a number of clubs in North Africa are synonymous with the CAF Champions League. And you will say, how are the mighties falling? In African football, TP Mazembe used to be, I don't know if they're still, they used to be one of the clubs who have a customized plane that carries the players for a club competition around the continent, even around the world. Remember, they once played in the final of the FIFA Club World Cup. So this is a classical case of how the mighty is falling. Okay, another result, we have Young Africans defeating Monastir 2-1. Then Saint Elo Lupopo, they play 1-0 with USM Alger. So the last round of games in the CAF Confederation Cup will be played on April 2. That is after, of course, after the international break. So quickly, let's give you the standing now. It's getting really, really interesting. Yeah. Okay. So in Group A, we have a Gallant. They have a 9 points, and followed by US Algiers with 8 points. US Alger with 8 points. Then in Group B, we have ASEC with 10, and of course, Rivers United with 10. So both teams, they will have to play their last group matches to know who will eventually top. I think that's going to be something that both teams will have to work hard for, because in the last 8, they will have whoever tops the table will have the hope of playing a less stronger side. Then in Group C, we have Asfar, they have 10 points. And of course, we have Pyramid and Future, they are both on 8 points. So the last game will be counting for both sides. And finally, in Group D, we have ES Tunis. Of course, they have 10 points alongside CR Belouizdad, who have 9 points. So Almerek and Zamalek, of course, nothing is happening as far as that is concerned. Okay, sorry, I think there's a mix-up there. There is a mix-up there, so sorry about that. In Group D of the CAF Confederation Cup, we have Young Africans and Monastir. They have 10 points each. Real Bamako and TP Mazembe. TP Mazembe lying at the bottom of Group D of the CAF Champions League. It's so sad, so sad. TP Mazembe used to be one of the strongest teams in African football. Same thing as our own Enyimba International here in Nigeria. Where are these teams today? That is one of the things we've always talked about. Key consistency have always been missing. So in Group D of the CAF Confederation Cup, we have Young Africans, they are on 10, and Monastir, they have 10. Then Real Bamako, they have 5, while TP Mazembe, they are on 10. So quickly, let's move to the CAF Champions League now. I almost mixed that up. Let's move to the CAF Champions League now. In the CAF Champions League also, things are really, really shaping up nicely in that part. Then we have El Merreikh, they play 1-0 with ES Tunis. The Cotton Sport, they lost at home 4-0 to Al Ahly. Then we have Belouizdad. Of course, they defeated Zamalek by 2-0. If you look at the CAF Champions League, I meant to say, it is a competition for the North Africans. That's what we've always been saying. The CAF Confederation Cup, the CAF Champions League, it's more like the birthright of the North African clubs. I wonder why the clubs in the Sub-Sahara and even the Central Africans are doing. Even in South Africa, I think only clubs in South Africa have always tried to do something in the club competition in the continent. So another result, we have Vita, they played 1-0 with Wydad. We have Al Hilal, they played 1-0 draw at home to Mamelodi Sundowns, the South African side. You have Vipers and Raja Casablanca, I want to guess, they play 1-0. Then Simba defeated Orea 7-0. And someone was asking me, how did Orea get into the CAF Champions League? If they didn't merit it, they won't be there at all. Then we have James Kabili defeated Petro de Luanda 1-0. So the last round of matches in the CAF Champions League will be played on March 34th. So let's keep that in mind. Okay, so quickly, let's give you the standing in the CAF Champions League. The standing in the CAF Champions League Okay, so we have in Group A, we have Wydad and GS Kabylie. Both of them are on 10 points in Group A. Wydad and GS Kabylie on 10 points. Vita Club and Petro de Luanda, they are both out. They have 4 points. Then Group B, we have Mamelodi Sundowns on 11 points, followed by Al Hilal on 10 points. So the last game, yeah, Al Ahly are third. Interestingly, they are third in Group B. Third, I think a Koto Sport, they have no point at all, so they are out. So I think Al Ahly stands a chance in the last game because should Al Hilal lose, I think Al Ahly will have a point. I think Mamelodi Sundowns are already through. I think that is if Al Ahly lose, Mamelodi Sundowns, they are already through and they'll be finishing as the group winner. So in Group C, we have Raja Casablanca on 13 points and Simba on 9 points. Right there. So as things stand in Group C, I think Raja Casablanca and Simba, they are through because Raja, they have 13 points. Simba have 9 points. Royal, who is next, who is third in the group, they have only 4 points. So that group is already decided. So in Group D, we have ES Tunis on 10 points and we have a CRL Belouizdad on 9 points. So even the last round of matches, El Merreikh and Zamalek, they will be standing no chance at all. And so once again, El Merreikh and Zamalek of Egypt, one of the firepower of African club football. What is really happening? It is very interesting in this season in the CAF Champions League. Okay, let's let's make a trip back to Ghana, where of course La Liga, they are of course unveiling a program to help grassroots football in Ghana. Of course, La Liga said that they've had a similar initiative already running in South Africa. They already have the same initiative running in Zambia, in Cameroon, and of course in Nigeria. Of course, I've had a cause to attend a couple of their programs right here. They have a lot of initiative for grassroots football in Nigeria, and they're taking it to Ghana. They said they've had a meeting with the JFA and of course with the Ministry of Youth and Sport in Ghana to help implement some of these. And it would offer more than just football. It has other opportunities for the young lads right there in Ghana. So we hope that the JFA will do a lot in partnership with La Liga Africa to make things happen. Okay, let's get to El Clasico. Of course, you had El Clasico yesterday. Barcelona hosting Real Madrid. Some people are continuing to argue that it is the biggest club football tie in the world. You cannot get it any bigger in any part of the world. And of course, Frank Kessié, who has had a very challenging season at Barcelona since moving from AC Milan last summer, scored the winning goal in the late on in the game. And something interesting about Kessié is that last season he won the Serie A with AC Milan after 11 years. Now again, he's about to win another league title with Barcelona in Spain. Remember that Barcelona, they now have 12 points above their rivals, Real Madrid. So, well, if you ask me, I do not see Real Madrid catching up with Barcelona. 12 points with a major rival is going to be very difficult. Now, let's talk about former FIFA president Ahmad Ahmad. Remember the Madagascar, he had a 2-year ban for contravening some of the FIFA ethics right there that is operational in FIFA. And last year, December, he successfully served his 2 years. And now that he's free, so to say, he's been talking about why he had to come under FIFA armor. And a lot of people said because of corruption. Remember, I don't know if you followed this antecedent, how he came into CAF and succeeded Issa Hayatou. A lot of people said Issa Hayatou was corrupt. Of course, then we had Ahmad Ahmad who came into the picture with the promise to clean up CAF. But he was also indicted of the same crime that Issa Hayatou was alleged to have committed for many years. I think Hayatou got there between 1987 and 1989. And for many years, a lot of people said CAF was corrupt under Hayatou. And under few years, yeah, I think Ahmad Ahmad spent less than 3 years before he was banned. Now he's been talking, and he said the reason why FIFA sanctioned him was because he refused to dance to the FIFA tune. Quickly, he's been talking with BBC Africa, and he said the reason why he was suspended was political. He said, my suspension was political. He said, while recalling a heated meeting between CAF and FIFA, he said there were certain financial provisions or support, so to say, that FIFA usually gifts to CAF. He said at the time, CAF decided to say no to some of these things because he said, in his words, or in his what he was trying to imply, when you continue to dance to some of these things, it would be difficult to stand up to FIFA when they try to bring policies that will not favor the Confederation. He said no under his leadership. And he said after the meeting, some FIFA members who were present at the meeting, and I quote him, he said, upon leaving the meeting, some FIFA people were telling my colleagues that I had signed my death warrant. What is death warrant in football? He asked. It is surely to use the ethics committee, the lethal weapon they were using at the time. And he talked about Fatma Samara. Remember Fatma Samara, who took charge of CAF for 6 months when the investigation was ongoing and eventually Ahmad Ahmad's ban. He said Fatma really helped, but in 6 months, we had what we wanted, so did not extend the mission, but it angered the people of FIFA. Gianni was angry. So, excuse me. So much insinuation ongoing. We hope that one day, maybe FIFA or particularly FIFA President Gianni Infantino will come out to actually debunk some of these things and actually make it plain why Ahmad Ahmad was suspended or was even sanctioned for 2 years as CAF president. But at the moment now, Ahmad Ahmad said he wants to help football grow in his native country, Madagascar. So we'll be following that very, very closely. Okay, talking about Ghana now, remember Daniel Kofi. He will not be part of this 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Angola because he's been injured. Remember, he ruptured his a cruciate ligament. He had a damage his cruciate ligament while playing for his club Freiburg in Germany, and he's been ruled out for the rest of the season. But of course, the GFA has not forgotten Kye because the vice president, I'm talking about Mark Addo, visited him, and of course, the pictures were there. He was on crutches, but he had so much smile on his face, and I think that will go a long way in encourage him to give his best to the Black Stars, knowing that the GFA and the people of Ghana are mindful of him, even though he would not be part of the doubleheader against Angola. Okay, still talking about the doubleheader against Angola, lots of players are now trooping in to the Black Stars camp. Of course, first to arrive the camp is the captain, is in camp already, and a number of players, of course, who played yesterday, Sunday. We learned that Mamadou Kudus should be arriving camp very soon, and a host of other players. Thomas Partey played on Saturday, so I think by now they must have arrived camp. And right here in Nigeria, we've had a number of early bets. We had Kelechi Iheanacho, Wilfred Ndidi, Paul Onuachu, and the likes. Players who played early on Saturday, even on Friday, a lot of them have arrived at the camp right here in Abuja. The camp is in Abuja. But something interesting is actually brewing in Nigeria because the coach, the technical advisor of the team, Jose Peseiro, the Portuguese, said allegedly, because one of the affected coaches, I'm talking about the goalkeeping trainer, Keshiromu, has actually kind of confirmed that he's been fired. This controversy has been brewing for a time now, or for some time, I should say, because Peseiro was giving the NFF at the time, under the leadership of former President Ahmad Ahmad, appointed assistant for Peseiro. He was not allowed to come with his own assistant. So I think he's been waiting for the right time in order to pick his own men. So he's fired one of his assistants, Finidi George, the Super Eagle legend, the current coach of Enyimba International, two-time CAF Champions League winner, has been fired, as well as Ikechi Romo, the goalkeeper trainer. So Ikechi Romo has promised that he's going to give a full interview once he's had the opportunity to have a one-on-one confrontation or discussion, I should say discussion with Jose Peseiro. So that is how things start. And of course, before we leave, let's talk about the CAF inspection for the 2024 Africa Cup of Nations, 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, the hosting right. CAF has postponed the team that will be going around to inspect the stadium that have been put down for countries who are interested in hosting the tournament, because CAF has come out to say that it will clash with the forthcoming FIFA World Cup trophy tour of South Africa, Morocco, Zambia, and Nigeria. Remember, those 4 countries will be representing the continent at this year's FIFA Women's World Cup that will be hosted in Australia and New Zealand. So that has been postponed. That has been put on. So we'll keep our fingers crossed as far as the qualifiers for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations is concerned. The players will arrive by tomorrow, Tuesday. Grassroots is expecting, I almost said it the other day, Grassroots is expecting to have a full house. So he has only 3 days, so to say. 2 days, I meant. Okay, maybe perhaps this evening on Monday, there could be some form of training with the few players who might have arrived. But Tuesday is going to be a full training session. Then on Wednesday, before the game on Thursday. So is it going to be right here in Nigeria with Jose Peseiro? The Super Eagles, they have a day with Guinea-Bissau. They defeated Guinea-Bissau the 2025 Cup of Nations in Cameroon. So Guinea-Bissau, to some extent, they are a familiar foe for the Super Eagles, but this is football. You can't just say at any time. This is where we'll be drawing the curtain on today's episode. Once again, we apologize for the faux pas in our last edition. So I remain Ashalolu Afemi. Like I told you, James has been snooping around to find out how many players have arrived at the Super Eagles camp, and of course, keeping tabs with what is happening in Ghana as the Black Stars prepare to host Angola. Those matches will be taking place on Thursday. Of course, we'll be giving you the fixtures, talking about preparation of all the African teams before Thursday. We promise to do that. So until we see you next time, bye for now.